Hello, mentors. So in other videos, we saw the missions about diversity. So this is meeting one. We saw the workflow and the scoring. And so in this video, I want to get more into the game strategies and the probabilities. This is not so much about teaching itself, but more that you know the concepts behind really and what's going on in essence related to probability and game strategies. So remember that this mission is getting at least two comics in Spanish. We started with another mission that was maybe simpler before, mission zero, actually, that was getting at least one comic in Spanish. And so I really recommend you do this mission zero and calculate the probabilities, at least for n equals one, to see what's going on. Then you build on. Okay, so mission one. We know already from the other videos that if we pick 20, for example, we're gonna be totally successful. Also, if we pick 19, but even if we pick 14, we know that we have a 100% chance of passing. So is this a good strategy? Well, at least we'll get 1 point, right, from the scoring, because we'll always pass. But it's kind of unlikely that will be the best that will play the lower, because some other teams may go for more risks. Again, let's do this for team B. Oh, again, I repeat that mentors do n equals 7 in this mission always. What happens if team B is really, really risky and plays n equals to 1? Well, that's 0% passing. So what happens if plays n equals 2? So I want to show you a chart that you don't need to show your students. You could show it to some advanced, but nevertheless, we'll do this in meeting 2 later. So this will connect. But this chart tells me what's the probability, given an n that I choose, of passing the mission. I already know that picking just one comic gives me 0 chance because I cannot get 2 comics in Spanish just by picking one. And this chart tells me that if I pick 2 comics, my chance is just like 14% or so, really, really low, but still doable. And a student may just risk it and play n equals 2. On the other hand, if we go high, we know that 15 and even 14 gives me 100%. So 14 is the best. So it's the least n that guarantees 100% chance. And it's here. But then we get the concept of marginal. So meaning we don't lose much. So it's less, but it's almost 100%. So 13 gives me 99.99% of passing. 12 gives me still 99, and even 11 gives me more than 99, and 10. So from 10 to 14, 15, it's practically the same. Unless you play 100 games or many, many games, you're not going to probably notice the difference. Even 9 gets lower, but not as much. So it's still very decent, 97%. So picking 9 still feels good. So what the mentors picked, it's 89%. So what we're doing, and students don't know it, it's we're giving a mentors a 90% chance of passing. Quite high. You could still, during the meeting, just get unlucky and not pass, but most likely you're going to pass. And so the question is, what is a good strategy and what's not so good? So let's take a look at here and let's discuss. I guess we could say that playing, of course, 1, 2, 3, or even 4, just a little more than 50, it just feels very risky, right? So I'm gonna reason and say that this range here, it's kind of a bad strategy. I mean, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 really bad. 3, still a risk, but a lot of risk, but still doable. And I guess up to 4, I'm just picking them as bad. Now, if we go to the other side, I'm going to say that 15, 14, 13, things like that are, I would say, so-so, because, I mean, yeah, you almost guarantee 1 point, but many teams, like if you're playing with 2 more teams and they play here in this range, at least one of them probably will win. And so they're going to take away your point. So again, this reasoning also depends on the number of teams you're playing. Remember, we're playing with 3 teams, students splitting half. So that's 2 teams, and then the mentors. And so what happens is that this range, I would say here, from 5 to something, 11 or 12. So it's not definite, but this is just an intuitive. So from 5 to 11 or maybe 12 is what we would consider the good strategies. Okay. And so the mentors are playing a good strategy. But yeah, maybe I'm going to say that 6, it's maybe even better. Because, yeah, like to beat you, they got to get kind of lucky somehow. 5, it's even good. And then, yeah, between 11, 12, and 13, since they almost have the same probability, you just might as well pick 11 because it's very marginal again. It's the difference, the reward from picking 12 is just a tiny % more of probability, whereas you put in a lower position to get the extra point. So hopefully that helps. Again, this is not for the students, but just for mentors to understand when students play how risky they're playing. In meeting 2, we'll get these charts going on. Okay, I hope you have fun and see you in another video. Goodbye.